We'll go right to the phone callers. First up is Jay. He is listening in Missouri. Hi, Jay.
Hi. I was wondering what a definition of a cult was.
Well, cults can be defined from both a theological perspective and a sociological perspective. When we think about a cult from a sociological perspective, we think about Jim Jones in Guyana. When you think about it, you might think of the Heaven's Gate cult, where people are controlled in virtually every dimension of their lives by a charismatic leader or a charismatic group. I don't mean charismatic in the sense of the charismatic movement within Christianity, but someone who, through the power of personality or words, controls people in virtually every dimension of their lives. From a theological perspective, a cult would be a group of people who compromise, confuse, or outright contradict essential Christian doctrine. And oftentimes these are people who claim to be Christian but pervert the meaning of essential Christian doctrine.
Oh, I get, because it seems like if we look at the Bible, every level of the Bible that looked like it was cultish, as it brought us out of Noah. It looked like he was a cult. And then Abraham, it looked like he was a cult leader.
Well, yeah, there's a sense in which you can even say that Christianity is a cult of Judaism if you take the train of thought that you're using, but that's not really what we're talking about in terms of the definition of the word. What you have with Abraham is not someone who is defying the principles of God, but rather someone who leaves Ur of the Chaldees and he goes to a nation that God calls him to go to, or a place that God calls him to go to, so that he can be the father of all nations, through which all the people of the earth will be blessed. So I don't think that the meaning of Abraham and his mission could be placed in a cultic context.
Well, then if you look at that, then like Abraham's my father, or then Moses, because Moses brought the Ten Commandments, and it brought us out. Today it looks some of those look kind of silly, like thou shalt not murder.
Why does that look silly?
Some of the other ones, at the time when they came out, nowadays, it seems obvious that I shouldn't murder anybody. But I think back in those days, you could probably get away with it because people, couldn't move around or communicate as well as we do today. So.
Well, you know what I would say, Jay, is I think it's important to be historically literate, just as it is to be biblically literate, and to recognize that words and phrases are not univocal, they're equivocal. They take on the meanings that the context allows them to have. So I don't think that we could say that in any sense the edict against murder is silly in any context. And the reason for it is we're created in the imago Dei, in the image of God, and that makes all the difference in the world. That means that we are to cherish and honor the life that God gives to people as those who bear his image.
Oh, yeah, and I think in the last 50 years, the world has prospered maybe 100-fold. So I think maybe the Messiah is going to be here any day now.
Well, Jay, the Bible doesn't give us any indication as to when Jesus Christ is going to return. We only know that he is going to return as he promised. That is the hope of Christianity, and when he does, he will restore the universe, which now groans in travail and awaits its liberation from bondage to decay, and we ourselves will be restored because our bodies will rise immortal, imperishable, incorruptible. Those who are alive will be transformed, and those who are dead will be resurrected. That is the great and glorious hope of Christianity. As far as Father Abraham is concerned, he is the father of all those who believe. Think about it. And Jesus says that he is the royal seed of Abraham. And if we are in Jesus Christ, then we are the heirs according to the promises God made to Abraham, and are genuinely sons and daughters of Abraham in the sense of all those who believe.